Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the Infatuasian podcast. This is a show where we celebrate Asian culture and creators. I think I need to have a special series called Legends because we've had a few now, and never in my wildest dreams did I think I'd be able to speak to people like Amy Tan, Connie Chung, Ming Tsai, Nancy Kwan, Roy Choi. And yet here we are. We are gonna speak with another legend today. It is the one and only Margaret Cho. Asian Americans who grew up as teenagers in the 80s. She was one of us. I mean, especially for those of us who grew up in San Francisco and maybe we went to Lowell High School or School of the Arts. I mean, Margaret was literally one of us in the 80s until she wasn't. She became a star. She started stand up in her teens and then got her own sitcom, and I mean, she got about as popular and famous as you could be. And she's had her ups and downs, and we'll talk about those a little bit, and you can read about those in her book. But she has accomplished so much. I mean, she got her own sitcom in the 90s. She's gotten Grammy nominations for her album. She's written 2 books. She's done hundreds and hundreds of stand-up shows all around the country, all around the world. She's had a podcast. She's been in movies. And one of the things that she pointed to as one of her greatest accomplishments is that she paved the way. She paved the way for Allie and Ronnie and Sherry, Randall and Atsuko and more. I mean, she was the first that I could ever think of. I mean, maybe there was someone Asian American stand up before her, but she was the one that really paved the way for a lot of these folks that are killing it today. It was Margaret. Margaret was there before anyone. And she's still doing it. She called in from North Carolina. She's doing a tour that she's calling Choligarchy, which is every tour is a pun on her name. It's pretty funny. So this is called Choligarchy. It's political in nature, and I'm sure it's great. And she's still on tour. She's going to be in Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Knoxville, Tennessee, Atlanta, Minneapolis, Chicago, Portland, Seattle, and kind of doing a midway break in San Francisco on May 29th. So I'm going to go see her at that show. So let me know if you want to go. Let's go together and cheer on Margaret and have a good time laughing with her on her new show. So, it was a fun little chat we had earlier this week. It was a quick one, like a 30-minute chat. And I have to say, she's more soft-spoken and reserved than I expected based on, her TV persona. But it was really nice. It was a really nice chat. And I wouldn't say I was like talking to a friend because, she is Margaret Cho. But it was just really a nice conversation. And I'm really happy to be able to bring it to you. So let's get to our chat with the iconic Margaret Cho right after this. When I started this podcast, I had a list. At first, it was a mental list. And then I wrote a list of people that I would want to talk to on a show called the Infatuasian Podcast. And these are people that I've admired my life and have, mavericks or pioneers in their field. And luckily, we've been able to speak to some of them. But today, we're going to speak to another one. So I get to check one more off my list. We're speaking to a legend and an icon for me and for many more. We're talking to Margaret Cho.
Yay, that is so cool. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for having us.
Thank you.
We have a little bit of a connection because, I'm in San Francisco right now, and I grew up here, and I went to Lowell High School, and so we have that connection. And so, whenever someone from San Francisco makes it, I get super excited. So it's such a pleasure to talk to you. Actually, I don't know if you remember, but my sister said she knew you at Lowell. Do you remember someone named Carol Chin?
Yes, of course.
And then you reconnected in New York for a little while, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys are about the same age. I'm a little bit behind. I was class of 89 from Lowell.
Oh, okay.
So
we were in 87. Or she might have been 86.
Yeah, she's 86 because she's in October, so she's a little young for her grade.
Right.
But yeah, we're about 2 years
Oh,
apart.
wow, she's lovely. Tell her I said hello.
I definitely will. I definitely will. Well, first of all, how are you and where are you?
I am in Charlotte, North Carolina today. I'm on tour.
Yeah.
So I just did a show in Durham last night and I drove here today. And yeah, so I'm performing here.
Still on tour. Yeah, we're the Choligarchy tour, is that?
Choligarchy,
Choligarchy, sorry.
like an oligarchy, which was kind of this sort of thing that we're living in right now, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
And I would rather it be me.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's about that.
Was this one of those ones that you feel like you had to do this tour in a way just for your own sanity and your own
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I am a longtime political comedian, but
Yeah.
this current situation is really crazy. And so I'm just yeah, I think comedy in a lot of ways got us into this and now I think we can get out of it through comedy and
You know?
it's been really successful. I think I've had a really good time doing it, but also I think it's really important.
Yeah. I saw you post getting death threats some of these
Yeah,
places.
people are really insane, and it's not it's not right. Like these people are just really out of their minds, and I mean, it is a cult, and so
Yeah.
you have to do a little bit of deprogramming. They
Yeah.
don't like to be made fun of,
Right.
and but I think ridicule at this point is really important.
Yeah. And again, it's jokes, right? It's
Yeah, it's
like
just jokes. These are just ideas, but people don't want to be challenged.
yeah.
It's their I think it's their identity, and they don't wanna be challenged, and so
Yeah.
but I still think they need to be. So, it's worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. So still doing it, still on the road, still going. So if you're gonna end up in San Francisco. So anywhere between Durham, North Carolina, and San Francisco, California, you can look up Margaret's tour. Still going on till May. I can't wait to see you here in May. That's definitely you. Do you always end in San Francisco? Is that like a goal of yours? Or
No, that's just a little break, and then it'll keep going, and I'll be filming a special in November, so that's kind of the finish line. I'll film in Palm Springs.
oh, okay.
So, but yeah, you'll be the last stop before I take a little summer break.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so margaretcho.com. You can find out the dates. You can find out where she's playing. Still doing it. I love that. I love that you're still out there.
Yeah.
But before we get into today, let's talk about your roots. Were you born in San Francisco?
Yes.
Do you know what hospital?
Uh, the, Children's Hospital on Cherry Street?
Yeah, yeah, my kids were born there. That's cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool.
In the Richmond district
Yeah,
and, grew up around the Richmond district around Japantown.
yeah.
I love San Francisco. I will always go back. I spent New Year's there this year, in Japantown, which is my favorite place, so I love
Mm-hmm.
it.
And your parents were immigrants, or were they born here too?
My parents were immigrants, and they came in 1964.
Okay. And that was fairly early for the Korean diaspora. Yeah,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, very much so. So they were the first wave
Mm-hmm.
of it, and, so they were there. My grandfather was the minister at Kamnigyohe, which is
Mm-hmm.
the church Korean American church on Powell Street,
Yeah.
in Chinatown. So, we were well situated within that first wave of Korean immigrants.
Mm-hmm. Bookstore on Polk Street? Was that?
Yes, Polk in California.
Okay, yeah, I'm sitting in Galileo High School right now, so we're right up the street from there.
Oh, okay, that's great.
So that's pretty cool. Yeah. As a kid, were you a jokester? Were you
No.
no?
No, I was really not, and I'm not now, and most comedians aren't.
Right.
You'll find that most comedians in general were pretty thoughtful people who are, in general, pretty much very introverted. I am.
Hmm. Hmm.
Most of my peers, my friends in this, we all kind of share that because we're just always thinking about what else can we say, what else can be said.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that people are very demonstrative and like being funny generally don't make it into all the way into an industry. They just do it for themselves or for fun.
Right. Right.
you have to have a little bit more of, I don't know if it's a need for it than, just a sort of a personality quirk. You
Hmm.
have to have much more of a drive to make people laugh, make people think about things. I think that's what artists are like.
Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed that, especially musicians
Mhm.
are introverted, but I could see comedians too when they're not when they're not on
Right.
stage, yeah, they're generally kinda shy, kinda.
Very shy and very, to themselves, and
Yeah,
that's why we get along with musicians. All my favorite people in the world do music,
yeah,
so we have a good relationship.
yeah. Was it when you transferred to School of the Arts here in the city where you kinda got a little bit of a performance bug in you, or
Yes. I got really encouraged there to do things. I had a teacher who would sign us up for a club called the Other Cafe, which was in the Haight District. It was a
Yeah.
comedy club.
Uh-huh.
And, so we would get signed up for open mic nights there, and so, in general, like, the atmosphere of the school was like, "Go ahead and try it in the real world."
Wow.
Go ahead and see what it feels like
Mhm.
and see if you like it. Not necessarily as a profession, but it was more like, "Let's see if you wanna do this in life,
Mhm.
and if you enjoy this in life." And so it was taking it out of the classroom and
Yeah.
into a real life setting, which I think is really interesting.
Yeah. And San Francisco in the '80s was kind of the place for stand-up comedy, yeah, a little bit?
Yeah. It was very popular. It was a very popular, like, hometown nightlife thing. There were a lot of, comedians who were successful that were just around town
Yeah,
that you could see,
yeah.
and, that were breaking out and going to Los Angeles and doing very well. People like Robin Williams is, like, one
Sure.
person that was very, very famous and,
Mhm.
also had a very big San Francisco identity. Uh, so yeah, it was a big deal.
You know what I used to do in middle school and high school? When I wake up super early and go down to the Quake and sit in on the Alex Bennett show. And
Yeah,
were you ever there at 5 in the morning?
yeah. I was there, he and I were like yeah, we did, like, shows later too, but he was a great guy, and,
Mhm.
I think they just did a tribute to him at Sketchfest, which is really amazing, but
Yeah.
he always had just awesome comedians on,
Yeah.
and, yeah, the Quake, Live 105, they always had, like, comedians, around. There was a couple of comedians that actually had, like, afternoon shows
Okay.
as well. Um, so, yeah, I always thought, "Oh, that could be a career is as well," something in radio.
Mm, mhm.
And still it's always a possibility,
Sure.
so that's sort of like nowadays it's more like with podcasting,
Podcast, yeah.
you know, but, which I've also done, but I think, yeah, radio was really cool, and Alex Bennett really was the king of that. I mean, I know him sort of his work predates, like, Howard Stern and all
Yeah.
of those kind of, very, very famous disc jockeys.
Yeah, yeah. No, that was cool. And as a kid, as a 14-year-old kid sitting next to, some of these people who just kinda rolled in from the night before, it was kinda fun. It was definitely an experience.
Really cool, really cool.
So, when did you when did you figure that you would be doing this? Like, you doing it, like, 16, 17 years old?
I mean, when I started, I was, like, 14. Like, I
Oh, okay.
always knew. I mean, I was doing it even before I went to School of the Arts. I was doing it a little bit in theater classes in at Lowell.
Mhm.
I was really encouraged to do things there, so I had already begun in general. But I didn't really commit to it probably until my mid-teens, like 15, 16, which is still, like, very
Yeah.
young.
Crazy.
Um, and I was making a pretty good living by the time I was in my late teens. So I was able to support myself, and I had an apartment and a car, and, that's it's kinda crazy.
Yeah. Taking the next chapter, who was it that pitched the show, or did you have to pitch the show, All American Girl?
No, I didn't pitch it. I, was pitched it in a way.
Mhm, mhm.
And that at that point, there were a lot of, uh, comedians doing shows on television. That was a very
Yeah,
popular thing, as you would do comedy and then you would get a deal to do a show.
yeah.
And, so I had a deal, and basically that was kind of the only thing I was pitched, is to do a show about me and my family,
Mhm.
which, I mean, made sense from my stand-up comedy, but also I'm not a family hour comedian. It's my
Right.
comedy's really pretty crass
Yeah.
and adult, and so it was hard to mold what I do as a comedian into, the 8 o'clock hour in television, and so
Mhm.
that's where it was a little bit difficult. Also,
Yeah.
there was a very, everybody was really scared because it was the first Asian American television show, so,
It really was, yeah.
people were really nervous about how that would be received and how that would look and what would be the audience for that, and, um, well, we did what we could,
Mhm.
but, it was really, really hard.
Yeah. And you were so young. I mean,
Mhm.
you were like, what, 26 years old or
I was
really
24 at that point,
oh,
yeah. It
wow.
was
Yeah,
hard work.
really young.
Yeah.
But for me, so I was finishing up college in 1994 and 95, and for me, it was important.
Mhm.
It's still an
It
important
is.
show,
It
and
is.
it groundbreaking is one word you could use, but
Yeah, totally.
in a way, unwelcome. Do you think that would be a fair was
Sure. Because it was not supported by, the Asian American community, because it wasn't marketed towards them, it
yeah.
wasn't, there wasn't a way to sort of reach out in a meaningful way to look at, like, well, how can we market to this community? How
Mhm.
can we look to promote this? We weren't as, cohesive as a community as we are now.
Yeah,
I think Asian
for
Americans
sure.
really have, in the last, especially certainly since the pandemic, have really coalesced into a very powerful buying market.
For
Like, we're a
sure, yeah.
powerful audience that buys movie tickets, that we go see films, that we
Yeah,
watch television shows, that we
yeah.
have a say. And so I don't think that existed. I mean, it always has existed, but it hasn't existed in the same way. And so, back then they would do things like the Joy Luck Club, but it would be one thing.
One and done, yeah.
And that would be okay, that's enough for
Yeah,
them,
yeah,
you know? And so nowadays, of course, it's different. And nowadays, we have more representation, but still not enough.
sure.
It's actually grown to be a little less. I think,
Percentage-wise, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's when sort of the big sort of push happened kind of after Crazy Rich Asians, and it started to grow. I think it's far less than it was then.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'd still like to see more.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's clear that it took, 2 decades to go from All American Girl to another sitcom. This means it took it's still work, but it took so much. But for you to do it
Convincing. It
yeah,
well, so much convincing for a network to go, "Okay, well, this is actually gonna work again." I mean, it actually the same person at ABC was behind it. Ken Ma was behind my show
uh,
and, Fresh Off the
fresh off
Boat.
the boat,
Like, it's
yeah.
the same person pushing
Wow.
it, which is great,
Yeah,
but it took him over a quarter of a century to get that one
yeah,
done too. So, we are talking about racism in a very big way
yeah,
that sort of manifests itself in invisibility,
yeah.
which is hard to deal with.
Yeah. And I looked at some of the episodes, and the writers are majority Caucasian writers or white writers for your
And
show,
male.
and
Yeah,
male.
yeah.
And yet it's supposed to be based on your life, but at the same time, it really wasn't your life in so many ways, right?
No, it was hard because, we did our best and we were trying to work around this sort of thing, but also my natural instincts as a comedian is not, family television.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's really
Yeah.
it was hard for us all to kind of
Yeah.
work on this, but, we did 22 episodes, which is kind of a lot. I would love for it to be on streaming somewhere. All of the episodes are on YouTube,
Mhm.
but it would be great to have another launch somewhere else. But it's to me, I think it's really a perfect time capsule of
Yeah.
television in that era,
Mid-90s.
and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I really always want to do a reboot. Like, I'm like, we should do it again because now I understand television. Now I have a
Right.
really firm grasp on it, and I think, what would be really interesting.
It would. But let me name some names too. I mean, Amy Hill, B.D. Wong,
Great.
SF
Great.
legends, right? And Jodie
Yeah.
Long, Clyde Kusatsu. But then the guest stars, Ming-Na Wen, Daniel
Yeah.
Day Kim, Jack Black, Oprah Winfrey does a cameo of herself, Quentin Tarantino, of course.
Mhm. They're all our old friends. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
everybody was great. Everybody was really special. All of Mariska Hargitay was on there, in a later episode. Just so many people came through and
Yeah.
hung out with us, and I just, yeah, I love that time.
Yeah. Yeah. So it didn't end up, the way you wanted. I read that it might have affected you in some pretty profound ways when it ended, and not so great ways in when it ended.
Right, and I think though, but ultimately, it was the right thing. Like, what it forced me to do was to go back into really, really learning how to be a stand-up comedian and
Mm,
really enjoying that, and I still really love the career that I have. I think that if the show had been successful, I might be done
that's
by now.
true.
I
Yeah.
may never have gone back to do stand-up comedy. I might have done a string of romantic comedies and now be living in Santa Barbara and be reclusive. Like you just
Yeah.
you don't know what would happen. Like, you might see me every 2 or 3 years at a golf tournament, but that would be it. Like, I kinda think that might have been the trajectory, and so, ultimately, it's sort of worked out for the best. I really do enjoy my career now, and I really
Yeah.
love my work, and, um, stand-up comedy has given me real meaning and purpose in life, but,
Yeah.
yeah, it really didn't work out the way that I wanted, and I was incredibly disappointed, but, um it's also, I think, through that pain, you really do find yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And you bounce back, you
Mhm.
write your memoir, and it becomes a one woman show first.
Yes, it was at all side of simultaneously, so it was a one-woman show, and then a book, and then it was a film.
And I'm the one that I want, and
Yeah,
it's just this is more true to who you are, right? Like,
right. Yeah, and it was really a big hit, and it helped me to launch a very, very successful, political comedy career, stand-up comedy
mhm.
career, and so it really sort of built the foundation of what I do now.
Yeah. Yeah, you kinda bounce between genres a little. Still do the Asian American, vision stuff, but a lot of things about justice and politics and, rights for people that are not given rights. I saw that you were in San Francisco when the Gavin Newsom did the same-sex marriage
Mhm.
proclamation. I actually was engaged at that time. I wanted to get in line too that day just to
Oh, good.
just to be part of it. But
Good.
we're running out of time a little bit here, but between the last 25 years, I mean, you've been Grammy nominated a bunch of times, so many live shows, so many live tours, podcasts, 2 books. Well, what would you want people to remember you for in the last 25 years
I
after All
think
American Girl?
the most important thing is that I inspired a whole generation of Asian American comedians to go and do what they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
And so that includes people like Ali Wong and Ronnie Chang
Mhm.
and Sabrina Wu, Hari Kanabalu, um, all of these incredible people, Bowen Yang,
Yeah.
Joel Kim Booster, all these people who are doing such beautiful, meaningful, and important work now. We're all inspired because they saw me do what I do. So
100%. Yeah.
my greatest achievement is to have brought another generation into this,
Yeah.
and, that's always gonna be my legacy.
Yeah. No, I agree. I 100% agree because you were one of one, you know? Like, what did you feel welcome when you were going like, outside of LA, New York, New Jersey, when you're in Middle America or Midwest, South, did you feel like they wanted you there, or did you just have to
Yes.
push your way in?
Well, both, but the thing about comedy is that if you can do it, you're welcome. It's such a rare skill,
Yeah.
and for people to do it well is so, important. So if you can do it well, you really are welcome no matter who you are, and that's one of the great benefits of stand-up comedy. It is a real, uh, democratizing force, because
Mm,
the skill is not meted out, to everyone. So
yeah.
it's like a
No,
very
it's not.
rarefied thing to do
Yeah.
and hard to do. So it's it's welcomed even if the package of you, the person of you isn't necessarily. So it's cool.
Yeah. No, it just looks so easy when you see people who are good at it, but then you'll hear all the greats say how hard it is,
Yeah,
how, like, I haven't seen personally, but Carol in LA has seen Ali Wong do some small shows, just testing materials out, and she said, yeah, it's kind of rough sometimes.
yeah.
You're working stuff out, constantly working, working, working. It's a lot of work, more than people
It's a lot of
realize.
work. Yeah, because you have to, especially now when things are so, people are very judgmental and, uh, they can take things out of context and things can be out sort of misunderstood really easily and, judged unfairly. And so it's a tough thing.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Well, we're up against it here a little, so I want to end with a quick little lightning round we call Yao, which is your Asian opinion. Take as long as you want on these answers. It doesn't have to be a one-word answer or anything. Favorite club to perform in?
I really love Largo in, Los Angeles. It's like my home club and, my favorite place. But yeah, I love Largo.
Largo. All right. How about when you're back in the city, what's a place that you have to go to eat when you're in San Francisco just to make you feel
Um,
like you're at home?
oh, the yakitori place in Japantown. It's
Okay.
so good. It's the one that's, like, kinda by the really good ramen place. I just also really always wanna go to Japantown.
Yeah.
Um, I always stay right there, and I love all of the restaurants in there. I love Daiso. Like, I'm super into Japantown, so I'm, like, in there with all the anime kids, and, I love it.
Such a good place. Yeah, no, I love it too. And yeah, in the 80s it was popping because of all the Japanese culture. We all wanted to, get
Yeah,
the latest, but then it's kind of a little resurgent with the anime and the
totally.
pop
It's
mart. Yeah.
crazy. I love it.
Yeah, it's great. All right, what's one thing that people don't know about Margaret Cho?
I have a lot of animals, which people may know, but I have a dog that is with me constantly 24 hours a day, wherever I am all over the world. Then I have many cats at home
Mm,
who I just adore, and it's my whole life to take care of them. So I'm mostly an animal handler, mostly a kind of, you know, cat guardian and dog parent, but comedy is something I do on the side.
yeah, the night job.
Yeah,
Is that Lucia down there? Is that
yeah. She's Lucia. She's a good
Lucia?
girl.
All right, we end with our signature question. We ask our guests to pick an infatuation. Infatuation is anyone in the Asian community that you admire, could be living or deceased. So, Margaret Cho, who is your infatuation?
Mine is a Chow Yun Fat,
Ah,
who is the best.
the
He's really
best.
true movie star, a gracious man. I was lucky enough to meet him with John Woo in the '90s and hang out, and I'm forever altered. You know, when you're in the presence of real like cinematic royalty like that, you
Yeah.
see the difference between more mere mortals and movie stars, and he is a movie star. There's not that many in the world,
Mm,
and it's a rare experience to just spend time with one, and I'm lucky enough to have been. I hope to see him again. With just a beautiful person and still out there, still doing amazing stuff and still gorgeous.
yeah. Yeah, I saw him make an appearance on TV not too long ago, and he looks great. Got the little silver hair now, but
Beautiful.
he's such a man. Yeah.
Yeah, love him.
He's a man's man. All right, yeah, great pick. You're the first one to pick him, but totally makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah,
really great. Well, I think that's gonna do it for our episode. But anything besides the tour? So Choligarchy coming to a town near you. What else is
yes.
next for Margaret Show? Anything else we want to shout out?
I'm just touring. I'm like, working on different things. But yeah, on the road for the next year, really working on trying to change things. And I'm on Instagram at Margaret_Cho talking about it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on TikTok at the Margaret Cho, always talking about it. So yeah, it's a constant thing.
Yeah. Well, this has been an absolute pleasure. It's not every day you get to meet someone you looked up to for 30 years.
That is so cool. Well, thank you. So great to see you.
Yeah, so good luck with everything, and yeah, we'll be looking for you in May when you come to the Palace of Fine Arts. We'll come see you.
Wonderful.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. And you know where to find us. You can find us at Infatuasian Podcast on Instagram or Facebook. Write us an email over at infatuasianpodcast@gmail.com. Hey, if you write a good one, we'll read it on the air. Huge thanks to Margaret for coming on. And again, yeah, living legend. It's interesting, right? Like you've probably seen her on TV or at a club. It's so different in real life. And I found that to be the case with a lot of people who are very public. But when you get them kind of off the stage, they're just a different person. But yeah, love that chat with Margaret. But everyone out there, thank you so much for listening. On behalf of Margaret and myself, we hope that you're all happy, healthy, and safe. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.